What is it about online gaming that angers us most, and does censorship have a place in the future of gaming? Welcome to Glitch Talk. My name is Daniel Kelly, and with me as always, Jerry Tai.
Hello, everyone. So there's been a controversy that's been surrounding Microsoft's new online policy with their Xbox Live system. Specifically, Microsoft has been censoring users that uses any excessive derogatory language while streaming their gameplay videos through their system. Do we have a statement?
Let me pull it up. Alright, so Microsoft statement. To be clear, the Xbox Live policy and enforcement team does not monitor direct peer-to-peer communications like Skype chats and calls. Also, we take code of conduct moderation via Upload Studio very seriously. We want a clean, safe, and fun environment for all users. Excessive profanity as well as other code of conduct violations will be enforced upon and result in suspension of some or all privileges on Xbox Live. We remain committed to preserving and promoting a safe, secure, and enjoyable experience for all of our Xbox Live members. End statement.
To summarize it in one sentence, it basically means there's absolutely zero swearing and zero mature content while streaming your contents through their service.
Which is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, so even just you're playing an online game, even if you just say one single word if you just say the F word, if you just say fuck, just that one word I'm assuming temporarily ban you from the service, right?
It can. I don't have experience firsthand.
First of all, none of us have Xbox One, so we have no experience with their
third-party
new
experience.
with their Xbox Live experience. But so far, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, and that's what I've been seeing. I mean, I was shown an example where the Kinect actually told the user in game that they were swearing, and they got a foul. They got a game foul. I believe it was NBA.
It was a basketball game.
It was a basketball game. I don't know. And that's just kind of creepy that, you bought this expensive system and you're paying for Xbox Live. I don't know how much you pay annually for it. You're paying all this money and you can't even swear in your own household.
Yeah, which is what the user was complaining on the video, which makes perfectly sense. So I just kind of want to go break it down a little bit. It's like, just what is it about gaming that makes us so angry the majority of the times? Mm-hmm. So like, I've been trying to make a lot of notes last night. I mean, I can't even read my own notes right here. There's a lot of scribbles, but like what I basically tried to interpret in my head was basically a video game is a meticulously crafted obstacle course that's meant to test your mental endurance on some level. Mm-hmm. It's meant to entice and provoke the users. Yeah. So I don't know. It's meant to test your mental tenacity on some level, and you accept the challenge to prove yourself in some ways, right? Yeah. So,
and you're given a skill set.
Yeah. And
no matter how well you use that skill set, you're supposed to get through the game. So it's not only just like hard obstacles; it's versatile obstacles. Yeah. So there's a multi-dimensional element there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to read some of my notes on here, but so I think it's something more fundamental, something about our own human nature, where if you fail a challenge, you kind of go through some kind of emotional catharsis anyway. That's the thing that
nobody wants to lose.
Exactly. It's completely normal. And it's also something about gaming. In some ways, it's such a stationary hobby. What I mean is, like, the majority of the time that you're sitting down, you're placing yourself in one position where you're just sitting on a couch or sitting in an armchair with your PC gamer, and you just kind of have to focus on this experience that's in front of you.
Yes.
So you get this kind of like laser focus on this monitor that's placed in front of you. So there's not a whole lot of physical movements to express your frustration or express your anger, unless you're playing, I don't know, Wii Sports or Just Dance or DDR or something like that. But majority of the time you are remaining stationary. It requires so little physical movement. It only requires a minute amounts of muscle reflexes. So I think like going back to what I said before, it's in our nature to go through this emotional catharsis whenever we have to confront our own failure. But in the case of gaming, because you're remaining stationary the majority of time, we often find a more practical and more efficient ways to express
Our feelings.
our anger, our feelings. Yeah, and kind of go through this kind of momentary cathartic moments, and we often do that vocally, right?
Yeah,
it's. I mean,
that's
it
the only
requires.
way-
It's the only way. We don't have to stand and move around. It's the most efficient and most practical way. It's the quickest way to do it.
It's alleviating.
Yeah,
I mean,
alleviating.
it goes without saying that cursing in online or offline gameplay at the game,
Yeah.
at yourself, it's refreshing. It's not really like you're beating
Yeah.
yourself down. It's just like, dang, this is so hard.
Yeah.
Or how come I can't goddamn beat this? Or I don't know.
Well,
But
this kind of.
I
mean-
really don't have anger issues when I'm playing games if that's how angry I get. But
No, but especially back when we were almost 20 years, 15 years ago, when video
games
games
are much more difficult.
much more difficult. There's no checkpoint system. There is no save points or anything like that. It's kind of just trial and error.
Now that really
mentality.
tried on people's patience.
Yeah, exactly. And especially we have like the controllers where it's not comfortable to hold in your hand, and the D-pads it kind of rubs on your finger a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys get blisters, and but you sit.
endure.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of times where I try to break the controller, or I want to toss the controller at a television. But those are back in the days where the controllers are still wired to the console, so you can't do it either way. But it's I think it's a compulsory aspect of that experience. You just kind of have to go through these
Well, I find it kind of funny.
emotional outburst. It's just part of experience. It's part of that ritual.
I
so
find
to
it
speak.
how it's funny in this case. It's not really I guess so. It's the gameplay that makes you angry,
Yeah.
other than like your own lack of skill.
Well, it depends. It differentiates from game to game.
Yeah.
Sometimes the real game is really just broken. It's the gameplay's problems. Whether it's like sticky controls or
Poorly designed.
shitty cameras, shitty camera angles. Stuff like
It's really
that.
up to the developer to
Yeah.
deliver.
Yeah.
It's not really the console's fault at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
In the case of censorship, though,
Yeah.
the fault does fall on Microsoft. I
Yeah.
find.
Oh, so we're jumping in there. Yeah. Well, okay. So that's not okay. That's another major components of the new generation console, or the current generation console now, is this social networking and aspect of gaming,
Mm-hmm.
right? This kind of goes a little bit off tangent, but it's just I think it's just the nature of like the social networking it's just an aspect of the social networking experience where there is the illusion of anonymity when you're sitting behind a monitor, thinking you can remain anonymous and you can just say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, we can say whatever the fuck you want, and you don't have to take any accountability for what you have to say.
Usually there would be no repercussions.
Yeah. It's that illusion. It's again, this kind of goes beyond gaming. People are posting horrible stuff on Twitter, on YouTube, and
It's
stuff like that.
the nature of the internet.
It's the nature of the internet. It's the nature of that experience. Yeah.
It's the nature
Yeah.
of the internet. Is
Yeah.
that's where people go to release anger and provide information.
Exactly, and especially online gaming. It really hit it off. A couple since the original Xbox. When they introduced Xbox Live
For the first
so
time,
many
yeah.
years ago. So online gaming has really taken off, and now with the new generation consoles, where you can stream your gameplay videos through Twitch. You can connect Facebook, Twitter to your console, to your accounts. You've
never been able
now
to
you-
share more
and
content.
all consoles they have like a camera that's attached to peripherals. What is that word?
Peripherals.
Peripherals. Yeah. So that's attached to the console, and people can see your face. So, like, going back to what we just said before, Microsoft has been censoring users that uses any form of derogatory language, quote unquote excessive derogatory language, while using their service. The Xbox Live is notoriously known for, these kind of very toxic social behaviors
Towards each other's users,
yeah, it's it was a huge problem back in 360 and
that's something
back
they're
on
really
Xbox.
severely trying to change.
Yeah.
But
Which I don't blame them in some ways. I don't blame them
But
why they wanted to implement this system anyway, because because they don't want to be seen as a company who kind of encourages
This
these
kind of yeah.
behaviors, right?
But it goes to say you can't change an environment you've crafted so well. It's how old is the environment or the world of Xbox Live? It's already set in its way. So to force this change onto the users is to garnish a reaction that's not positive because they're it's people's homes. People are at home in this virtual world, sharing it with other people, right?
Yeah.
And, they see it as another place where they feel safe to game and express themselves.
Yeah.
And understand that
they want to make it
that it's family friendly. They want all ages to go in.
Yes.
But what happened to the days of age consent? It's like just for me, it's almost another censorship type of censoring the internet.
Yeah.
Except you're censoring what you can say in your own home.
Yeah,
it
goes at the extra step.
It goes at extra
step.
They're
monitoring you.
I understand, the principle behind what Microsoft's trying to do, but
they don't want to tarnish their own reputation.
But they've already they've already created that environment, and for me, and for everyone else, you can see the reactions out there that it's not a positive change.
Yeah,
maybe if they implemented, a waiver form.
Okay, but we both agree that censoring users just because they said an F word it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
We swear all the time. I swear one game, even not online, it's just offline. If I can't get past a boss battle or if I can't pass a certain stage, I swear it all the time. It's like fuck.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out different scenarios where censorship would come in place. But that's kind of going back. You were saying something about the waiver agreements that users have to agree. Yeah.
I mean, wasn't there a license agreement to signing up to the PlayStation Network? It's an open...
Who read those anyway?
Listen, well, here's another example. If you're playing a game that has swearing in it, and you're not allowed going on the online game and swearing, isn't that a little hypocritical in a sense?
Yeah,
where we're allowed to develop a game where we're subjecting you to swearing, but if you want to experience the game with other people, you can't swear.
Yeah.
That's a double-edged sword almost.
Yeah.
And so that also could be where they're taking a couple of blows.
Yeah.
Because it's not that they're going back on the word, it's just that they're on the... I don't even know if they're on the fence or not. It just confuses me why they're doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well... What if the user's playing like a hockey game or something like that? It's not a mature rated content, it's a hockey game, but people go online and they will swear the majority of the time, So we both agree there should be some kind of there's some kind of agreements or we all have to abide to parental control. Yeah, but I think we both agree like the online experience is mostly
mature,
meant for a mature audience.
I think the people who are playing online there are a lot more adults playing online gaming than there are children.
Yeah.
At least that's what I figure. It just makes sense.
I don't know. There's a lot of teenagers playing Call of Duties, and
teenagers have foul mouths too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the point is, the online world is an 18 or 19 or 21 plus world, and you shouldn't penalize the majority of the users because children are going to be subjected to this language that they're going to learn at school. So, they're going to learn it elsewhere. So it's a useless grab.
Yeah. So going back, we both agree. If you're going to go into that experience, you have to abide some
sort of law.
There has to be some form of understanding that the corporations can't take any responsibilities for the user created contents or user created or users language on their system.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fully.
Yeah. I think maybe there should also be like different age groups as well. If you're under the age
that's getting a little too technical, right?
Yeah.
Like sign up for Xbox Young or Xbox Live Kids, Xbox Live Adults, because that's just more. It's just parental controls is a good way to figure it out because I don't know, you put a password on and Connect will filter out all the swear words and be like, okay, you swore, suspended. It's also a good way to keep parents aware if their kids are cussing a lot or not, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Parents should take more responsibility for it. It's
parents. Here's Microsoft offered a product, or a company offers a product. It's what you do with it.
Yeah.
You paid for it. It's now yours. They created it. Whatever you do with it. If you break... It's like this. If you take an Xbox, and I don't know why, and you throw it through someone's window and you break their window, Xbox is not going to pay for the new window replacement.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's a weird analogy, but I understand, I understand where you're coming from. But let's go to a different scenario then. What if someone is making a life threatening you in some ways where, let's say both we're playing, I don't know, Call of Duty or something.
Yeah.
We're playing in a competitive death match or something like that, and I lost. And I sent you a message saying, "Oh, you should go fucking kill yourself." You insert whatever word you want to insert in there. Do you think Microsoft should censor that type of content, that type of
Like on its own, just like
that type
censor.
of behavior?
Well, I mean, if you're sending a text message, there's a lot more intent than if you were to say it in the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe if you're sending a message, you put the thought and effort into it. So yes, Microsoft should act on that. But I think maybe the user should request that, like flag it or report it. Not that Microsoft could. I don't want Microsoft to.
Let me rephrase it a little bit better. So
not
not necessarily send you. Okay, let's say, both of us playing deathmatch on a shooter game.
Yeah.
And I'm streaming my gameplay video through Twitch. People can see my face. People can hear what I'm saying. Like they can mouth my words. You can see my face. I'm not hiding behind anything. And I just blurt out this
Profanity.
Extremely toxic verbal behavior online. When you go fucking kill yourself. You should go hang yourself. You blah 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 blah. Whatever. Stream it through their service. Do you think Microsoft should censor that type of material?
Well, that's a fine line because you have to. Do you mean it? How did you say it?
Yeah.
The intent in the conversation. I
Yeah.
mean, do you know where I live?
Yeah.
These are all
It's a very gray
these are all
area, yeah.
variables.
But
the internet's a very gray area.
Yeah,
Internet's a very gray
that's
area.
a very euphemistic
And people get
way
very
of saying
sensitive
it.
when you.
Yeah.
People get very sensitive when you play with their internet.
Yeah.
Like with the rules of the internet. There shouldn't be rules on the internet, really. There
It
should
be
be
like the Wild West. There's
the internet is the Wild West.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. Yeah.
And what Microsoft is doing is they're just killing off all the renegades or all the.
But going back to the scenario then.
Going back to the scenario, it's really hard to just say one thing.
Okay.
Yes or no. I mean, if you think the threat is serious enough, it goes down to the user. It's up to the user and how the user responds and how the user acts.
Even if I don't mean it, if
It's
it's
just like
something,
penalizing
it's something
one person.
cathartic moments where I just have to kind of let off some steam.
And that's what gaming
I have to say what I have to say to let off some steam. Otherwise I'm going to toss my controller out of my 1,001 grand television set.
I mean, if you look at numbers, I don't know what kind of numbers are out there already for
Yeah.
violence on the Xbox Live
Yeah.
or violence statements on the Xbox Live network. But
Yeah.
if you look at the numbers, I'm pretty sure that acts of violence on users that actually happen are minimal.
Minimal, yeah.
So if you and I know corporations love numbers, so if you just take that numbers and apply it to Xbox Live, this new Xbox Live,
That's very hard to determine whether the user mean it or not. But
it's hard to determine. But if you look at the acts,
no, let's just forget all of that.
all that, okay.
Let's just forget all of that, and then hypothetically, let's assume the user does not mean any harm towards
There's
the
no
other.
no harm, no foul.
Yeah, okay, but do you think that content should still be on there on the for everyone to see and
YouTube has
under
some,
the
like-
Microsoft's name?
Well, it's not a yes or no thing again. Yeah, it's like, will Microsoft have are you over 18 or 19?
Yeah.
Click yes. Okay, now it's out of our jurisdiction. You can watch this video.
Yeah.
If they have those waivers or those options that we're warning you that this has mature content, I don't think that this would be such a problem.
Okay.
As long as they do something like that.
So you think that content should never be taken? Okay.
I think the parents should, if because it all goes down to the underage demographic.
Okay.
And the parents should be responsible for the demographic.
But okay, let's just say
not the
I
corporations.
lost a match towards
Against me.
Against you. Yeah. And I say, "Oh, Daniel, you should go fucking cut yourself, you fucking faggot."
Yeah.
Now, within this is a very sensitive subject, and I'm sure there are some folks out there that want to have this.
Say those things.
Say those. No. I'm pretty sure there are some certain minority group that want to have that. Not minority, but they want to censor that kind of content on their service. Do you? Maybe I know what you're saying. It shouldn't be black and I don't. For me personally, it shouldn't be that black and white censorship or no censorship. But maybe,
first off,
maybe there should be some kind of careful, like some kind of procedure, some kind of careful, like careful process.
Let's look at your example, and let's look at those groups. Let's look at the groups that want these profanities censored. Do they play the video games? Are they experiencing the online gaming experience? I just don't think that you're catering to the requests of the small compared to the large demands of the gaming community, which is a large amount of people.
But do you think the community should have a say in it? It's like
the community should
like on YouTube right now, like you can flag a certain type of content if you find it
if the majority of community
if the
majority of the community wants censorship, give it to them. I mean,
censorship on that specific content, not their general service.
You can't have censorship on specific content. It just doesn't work.
Yes, you can.
Well, because censorship will grow. Censorship will grow. If you allow censorship, censorship will grow. End of debate.
Okay.
Censorship is if you say excessive swearing.
Yeah.
Who's to say excessive swearing isn't just one word?
Yeah.
Of shit, fuck, or whatever.
No, I'm not saying like. Obviously, it's ridiculous to censor any people that uses any derogatory language. Like, just even the word fuck. We say fuck all the time, especially when it comes to gaming, right?
Yes.
But I'm talking about something more like a more specific scenario where there is a extremely toxic behavior on their service. So I'm assuming what you're saying is there should be 0% censorship. It's just that black and white. No censorship or censorship. Yeah, that's what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. What I'm thinking in my head is maybe there should be some kind of careful process, dealing with a situation like that, where you let the community speak first, let them flag the video, saying this is kind of inappropriate content.
Yeah, we're flagging it. Here's
to
Microsoft.
catch the company's attention, right? Yeah. So you start at the first level, flag, get the company's attention, you flag inappropriate content.
So community-based censorship.
Community-based censorship. Do you think that's fair?
Oh, I think that's much better than corporate.
Yeah.
Corporate censorship.
But I think corporate censorship does have its place, where you start with the community first, you get their attention, and then you let the authorities step in. No, that kind of goes into the question.
The problem with authority.
No, that kind of goes into another question: who has the authority to censor?
What?
Yeah, exactly. But
it goes to say, does Microsoft want an unhappy demographic with a competitor?
But what if the public wants it?
Like, if the public wants it, it has to be a clear majority.
Yeah, okay, clear majority. There you go. But if there's like a large amount,
they'll never get a clear majority.
Well, it depends on how many percent of your user population has.
The day that people want to be censored on online gaming as a majority is the day I want to stop gaming online.
But even with the stuff threatening other people, even if they don't mean it, I mean, I'm pretty sure the majority of people that makes these kind of type of comments, I'm pretty sure they will not drive a couple hours to your house
and just why you killed me in this game?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's crazy enough to do that, hopefully. But even if they don't mean it,
if they are, they deserve to be censored.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay. What we're trying to say? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is let the users decide. Let the user base decide.
Let the users guide the community of online censorship.
Exactly.
If there's a video that people flag X amount of times, maybe 10 times, then maybe it's to be subject to review from Microsoft.
Subject to review, yeah. You get their attention.
And then the user who posted it will get a message from Microsoft saying, you've offended the community or whatever.
Oh, that's
so we're going to suspend your account. That is way more viable than them
you give them a warning first. Saying
not even a warning, just 20 people, 1,000 people flag this video. This is really disgusting.
Okay.
You're going to get penalized. That is a lot more probable.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not.
Yeah, I agree with that idea.
I'm not for
we're just playing devil's advocate.
I'm not saying let the corporation decide what to censor and what not to censor, and let them have the 100% of a call. I'm just saying you have to go through this careful process where you have to let the community decide first, then the corporation, that the authority figures step in. Let them decide, right? But I don't want these. Because I'm trying to say from Microsoft's point of view, I do not want these type of behavior on my service either, you don't want to. Yeah,
It's going to provide a
because
completely different experience.
because the thing is, if you don't step in, it's gonna your 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 inability to do anything. It's gonna that in itself is gonna encourage that kind of behavior.
Well, it starts a precedent. It starts a precedent of censorship.
Yeah.
For me personally, I understand, the business side of it. I understand why Microsoft's doing it.
Yeah, absolutely,
They want to protect. They want to protect people.
Yeah, especially these kids. Most of these kids, I was shopping at Best Buy.
But sometimes the best. Sorry, go ahead.
I was shopping at Best Buy last week just for some games or whatever near like Black Friday or Black Weekend sales, Cyber Monday sales, whatnot. And I overheard a father, asking one of the salespersons, like, oh, my son wants an Xbox, and he's 10 years old. What game should I get? Blah 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 blah. And I don't think the kid has any console, but it's like, and the salesperson's trying to like sway the father into buying like a Nintendo console, like a Wii or Wii U, that kind of stuff. Console. Yeah, and the father specifically said, he's like, oh no, my son specifically wants an Xbox. He wants like a Call of Duty or a Call of Duty Ghost. I think that's what he was saying. Yeah, that's a 10-year-old kid. They don't want to play,
Mario games.
Yeah,
which I won. I was 10. I wanted to play
Mario. The thing is,
Mario.
like, I'm not a parent, so I don't.
It's not too much of a different of a perspective, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I'm
you want to protect your children.
I'm pretty sure if I have a kid right now, I have a much different perspective on this whole situation. Where I want Microsoft to censor that kind of.
Well, I mean, let's take this hypothetical. Call of Duty is Call of Duty an M-rated game or E for everybody?
M-rated game.
M-rated game.
Yeah.
I don't know why I even said that, but
well, you should not.
Let's say your Microsoft account is registered under 16 or under the age of demographic.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't be allowed to play online.
Yeah.
It's an M-rated game. You're underage. That is a way of preventing it.
Well,
is that an extreme?
Yeah, but let's say you
shouldn't be playing it in the first place.
What if a kid is playing a non-M-rated game?
Oh, you're logged
online, but they overheard that kind of.
Well, here's another perspective. Anything that's not M-rated and you hear M-rated language, maybe they should get suspended. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it should be some kind of different age groups for their.
If you're playing an M-rated game, M-rated language. If you're playing E for everybody, maybe there shouldn't be M-rated language on there.
What if okay? Well, that's not fair either, right? No. What were we saying?
E for everybody. If you get caught swearing, you get a suspension or you get a warning. M for everybody. M for mature. You can swear on there. But you know what? Anybody who's registered under the age of majority in the region won't be able to get online because they're registered underage for the game. Or, they have to go get the parental lock from the parents to play the game online.
Yeah.
See, there's all these other alternatives. There's these alternatives, but not complete censorship.
I think, parents should definitely take more of an initiative, to, parents their kids. That's their job, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you should be aware of, what they're getting themselves.
They're basically letting the company do the delegating of their responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed swearing. Listen, I'm a 24-year-old man. I don't need you to tell me I'm not allowed swearing in my own house. I'm playing with my friend who's age of majority too. He can swear.
We both agree on that.
Thank you, Microsoft, for letting me know that I was swearing in my own house with my adult friends.
Yeah.
That was completely useless of you. You just wasted, points.
So what you're saying is Microsoft or any other companies, they should take zero accountability for the type of behavior.
Before the succession, that's what I would say. But, we've provided many alternatives. We've provided a few alternatives.
Yeah.
And I agree with some of those alternatives. But if none of those alternatives are met, I don't agree with Microsoft's policies as they are. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think companies should definitely have to take some kind of
step forward.
Enact some type of role when it comes to censorship, right? But
they're clearly doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, no, they're going extremely hard, right? It's like, you said an F word. I'm going to temporarily ban you from the service. That is absolutely crazy.
What's stopping Microsoft from saying every time you swear, we're going to put it into your digital swear box or swear jar so that you can spend your points on our money. So every time you swear, you get $1. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, even that, every time you swear, you get $1 and you can buy.
Yeah.
That's actually losing the money.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's many alternatives, and the end for me is that Microsoft's just not following the best way to get the means across.
I think a good way to summarize what we just all talked about is I think the gamers ourselves and the users, we have to be a little bit more disciplined about what we say and how we express ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and
Guide ourselves.
yeah, guide ourselves.
So that,
yeah, exactly.
these censorships don't arise and
Yeah.
Big Brother doesn't be like, you just swore, go to your room, stop
exactly.
playing.
I think there has to be
A balance?
there has to be a balance. Both the company, the corporations, and the users,
yeah.
and consumers. We both have to take responsibilities. We have to be a little more disciplined with our language, with our behaviors, and that kind of stuff. And then with corporations, they should enact some kind of
Act with us.
act with us. Yeah, but I think it should always be users first. That has to be the fundamental rule, right? You have to discipline yourself. Be careful what you say. And then, if you find inappropriate content on whatever service, you flag it and, get their...
Subject to review.
Subject to review, and let them step in. There has to be some kind of a process.
See, that's
We
a very
both agree.
that's a very diplomatic way of doing it.
Yeah. But, obviously I don't want, my Xbox telling me I can't swear while I'm playing a game. That's,
This is my own house.
Yeah, it's exactly, Yeah, and plus the video we just saw, with a gamer playing the NBA game, just saying the word fuck.
Gets you a technical foul.
Yeah, it's a technical foul, exactly. So we both don't want that.
Is that a real thing in NBA? If
I don't
a
know.
player swears on the field, do they...
When I first saw that, I could not believe it. I was like, no, this can't be real.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like losing a life every time you swear.
But I like how PlayStation now is like, they're displaying your real name.
Yeah, I like the...
on their accounts, which is kind of like a little
don't have
bit,
anything
which is
to hide.
smart and a little bit subversive. It's kind of like, you have to... It forces the player to be a little bit more cautious of their
Polite.
own... Yeah.
I was going to say
behavior.
cautious too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. In terms of my gaming habits, I guess, when I'm playing online, I'm a little bit more self-deprecating in the sense that I always swear at myself in terms of I shouldn't make smarter decisions, in this match or whatever. Very rarely, I'm not going to say never, but very rarely do I ever swear at other people. Like, fuck you, whatever. Unless I'm playing with a friend and I know,
It's mutual.
I know there's a mutual understanding, there's a mutual agreement. I don't mean any harm. We're both friends, that kind of stuff. But if I'm playing with strangers, I'm usually because you're just so angry, right? You have to say something.
You have to vent it. You don't want to throw your controller at
you
your
have
screen.
to let out some steam. Like we said, we do it vocally. It's the easiest way to do it. I don't want to
Press X and I'm going to get you next time.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
exactly. So I think
yeah.
I think that's a good end for this episode.
Yeah,
So I mean, what do you guys think? Should it be censorship in the future of gaming, with their online, with everybody's Sony's...
Let us know about
Steam.
your censorship experiences.
Yeah.
Actually,
What's your most memorable...
Censorship experience.
No, not censorship, but what's your most memorable angry gaming experience whatsoever? I mean, anyway, just leave your comments down below. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you on the next one.
Glitch Talk out.